A man in rural Georgia paid around $16,000 for a compact tractor. 2 years in, one small fuel system part quit, and the nearest dealer was 50 miles off. The part was back-ordered, and that tractor sat dead in the yard for 7 weeks, right in the peak of the season. Nobody at the dealership mentioned that could happen. And the sticker price is the cheapest thing about a tractor. The number that decides your next 20 years isn't printed on the price tag at all. So if you are about to spend $15,000 to $40,000 on a machine like this, one number tells you whether it will nickel and dime you for the rest of its life, and almost nobody checks it before they sign. The moment a compact tractor crosses 25 horsepower, the federal emissions rules get strict enough that almost every maker has to bolt on a diesel particulate filter. A service manager at Messick's, one of the biggest Kubota dealers in the country, puts the cleaning bill at $450 to $550 a visit. Replacing the whole assembly, if it ever clogs for good, can run up toward $2,000 or $3,000 in the worst case. And every so often that filter forces a parked regeneration, where you idle the machine 20 to 40 minutes and cannot touch a thing. Stay under 25 horsepower, and all of that is zero for life. So is there a machine built to never send you that bill? There is. But first, the brand's built to send it to you again and again, starting with the badge you would least expect. Number 1, and it is the green one everybody respects, John Deere. Let me be fair to Deere first, because this channel does not deal in cheap shots. Deere holds its resale value better than almost anything on the lot. The attachment lineup is the deepest in the business, and there is a dealer in just about every county. That part is real, but the diagnostics tell a different story. On Deere's 25 horsepower models and up, the software that talks to the machine is called Service Advisor, and for years, Deere kept it dealer only, which means when your tractor throws a fault code, you often cannot get the full software to fix your own machine. A dealer sends a technician out instead, at service rates that run $100 to $150 an hour, plus a trip charge just to roll the truck out to your property. A tech drives out, spends an hour with the machine, and you are past $200 before one part gets touched. For a fault you might have cleared yourself with a cheap cable if the software were not locked. This got heavy enough that in early 2025, the Federal Trade Commission in 5 states took John Deere to court over that lock. Add premium parts on top of it, and add the same emissions filter. Almost every brand carries above 25 horsepower. And you start to see the shape of it. The tractor is the printer. The dealer-only diagnostics, the premium parts. The filter service, that is the ink. Deere sells you the printer at a price you will brag about, then sells you ink for the next 20 years. Number 2, Mahindra. And Mahindra earns its fair hearing too. It is the largest tractor maker in the world by volume. You get more iron for your dollar than almost anywhere. And the loaders are strong, no question. So why is it on this list? Go back to that man in Georgia, the one whose machine sat dead for 7 weeks. That was a Mahindra. The knock on Mahindra shows up the day a part goes down and the shelf is empty. Owners on Tractor by Net, the biggest independent tractor forum online, report the same story over and over. A glow plug back-ordered for 2 months. A seal or a sensor that takes weeks because the regional warehouse runs lean and the dealers sit thin on the ground outside the South. And on Mahindra's models over that 25 horsepower line, you inherit the same emissions plumbing as everyone else. So a failed sensor there does not just cost you a part, it can keep the machine from starting at all until that part shows up. Now somebody watching is already typing that their Mahindra is built like a tank. And you might be right, it is. But a tank you cannot get a part for is a lawn ornament. Good iron does not help you when the one part you need is 3 states away and the season is burning. And I do want to hear about it. What is the longest you have ever waited on a tractor part, and which badge left you sitting? Put the brand and the number of weeks down in the comments. I read them, and so does everybody shopping for a machine right now. Number 3 is a name a lot of shoppers have started running into because it is being pushed hard on price right now. TYM and its sister brand Branson. On the showroom floor, the case for them looks strong. These are Korean-built machines, honest engineering, and you get a long feature list for the money. The cat shows up in the parts manual. TYM bought Branson a few years back, and then put out word that TYM and Branson parts are not interchangeable, even under the same corporate roof. So you can have 2 machines from one company that cannot share components. When a brand sprawls like that, the parts and service network gets stretched thin across badges that do not talk to each other. And thin support is the whole theme of this list. A cheap feature list up front means nothing if the dealer 2 counties over is not sure which parts book your serial number even lives in. This is a young brand still sorting out its own supply chain, and you do not want to be the one funding that education. Number 4 is the worst floor on this whole list, and it covers a whole category, not a single badge. The Chinese badged subcompacts. You know the ones. The off-brand machines at the big box store, names you have never heard of like Nortrek or Jinma, priced thousands under everything else on the lot. Their fair hearing is simple. It is the cheapest iron you can buy, and the common wear parts, your filters and belts, will often cross-reference to generic stock you can get anywhere. The trouble starts when these lines get orphaned. A distributor picks up a brand, sells it hard for a couple of years, and then drops it. Nortrek, for one, has no authorized service network standing behind it. When a proprietary part fails, and sooner or later one will, you are waiting weeks on something coming across an ocean, if it is even still being made. Some of these machines just become unsupported. And an unsupported tractor is a 5-figure paperweight sitting right where your working machine used to be. Cheap to buy and close to impossible to keep running. That is the trap at the very bottom of the market. So that is the nickel and dime side. Every one of those machines bills you after the sticker, in service, in parts, or in the weight. Which brings us right back to the question from the top. Is there a tractor that just does not? There is. And it is built around the number I showed you at the very start. If this is saving you from a bad $20,000 decision, that is exactly what this channel is built for. Nothing but buyer protection. For people spending real money on iron every single week. Now, the machine's built to outlive you. The third best tractor to own on pure cost is the Kubota BX2380. It runs 21.6 horsepower, so it sits under that emissions line. No filter bill, ever. It is built in Gainesville, Georgia, right here in the States, and it plugs straight into Kubota's parts network, which is the deepest in the subcompact world. Being assembled here keeps it close to that U.S. parts operation. And that is a big reason the wait times stay short compared to the badges we just went through. You can get into one starting around $14,500 and into the high teens once you hang a loader on it. The only reason it is not higher on this list is size. For a lot of acreage owners, it runs a touch small, but on the pure cost to keep it, almost nothing beats it. Number 2, the Coyote C K2620. Now, Coyote is built by Daedong, a serious Korean manufacturer, not some fly-by-night badge. It runs 24.5 horsepower, again just under the line, so there's no particulate filter to feed. But the warranty is what puts it near the top. Coyote backs it with a 6-year powertrain warranty and a 2-year bumper-to-bumper. On a compact tractor, that warranty is the thing that caps your worst-case repair bill, the big one. The transmission or the engine giving out. Loaded up with a front-end loader, you are looking at around $20,000 to $24,000. You pay a little more up front, and you buy down the scary end of the cost-to-own curve. And the number one compact tractor to own, the machine built around the number I gave you back at the start. The Kubota L2501 and its current twin, the L2502. Look at the horsepower rating, 24.8. 2/10 of a single horse under the emissions line. And that is no accident. Kubota could have built this machine at 25 or 26 horsepower. They chose not to. Because at 24.8, this tractor legally never needs a diesel particulate filter and never runs a regeneration cycle for the entire life of the machine. Kubota did not lose that last little bit of horsepower. They gave it up on purpose so that you would never buy a filter, never clean one, and never sit stranded waiting on one. Put that on top of the deepest dealer and parts network under 40 horsepower and the best resale value in the class, and you have the machine that bills you the least for the longest. Think about what that adds up to over 10 years. 2 neighbors buy on the same afternoon. One drives home the 26 horsepower machine with the filter, and over that decade he pays to clean it, pays once to replace it, and loses good working days to the regeneration cycle every season. The other drives home the 24.8 and pays none of it. 10 years on, the second neighbor has kept thousands of dollars in his pocket, and because the machine is a Kubota, it still sells near the top of the used market when he is done with it. Same work, same acreage, same hours on the clock. One tractor just kept more of his money the entire time. That is what cost to own actually means. And it is decided by one number on a spec sheet. Almost nobody reads before they sign. So before you sign anything, do these 2 things. Ask for the exact horsepower, in writing, and ask for the emissions tier, in writing. 25 horsepower or over, and you are buying a filter you will feed, clean, and replace for the next 20 years. Under it, there is nothing to refill, nothing to clean, and nothing to leave you stranded in the middle of the season. Remember the man in Georgia and his 7 weeks sitting in the dirt. That wait was not bad luck. It was a cost baked into the machine the day he signed, and nobody read it out loud to him. The horsepower number is the cost to own number. Get it in writing, and you take the nickel and dime game off the table before it ever starts. That is how you buy iron that works for you, instead of the other way around.